Welcome to Martha Runs the World, a podcast with a new take on running, fitness, and all things health oriented. I'm Martha Hughes, your host, and each week I present a new topic that is of interest to all runners. Welcome to episode 260 of Martha Runs the World. Thank you for joining me today. I truly appreciate it. Our feet. Today is all about runners' feet. How can you tell if someone's a runner? Look at their feet. I think runners' feet are beautiful. I do. I don't think we have ugly feet. I think our feet, yeah, sure, they're worn and torn, but they're beautiful. It means we're using them. We're actually going out and doing things. We're not keeping them perfect and with no imperfections, and they're not model perfect or anything. No, they're being used. Sometimes we abuse them. I just love runners' feet, no matter how ugly they can get. You can get kicked out of some runners groups on Facebook by posting pictures of your blisters. I mean, yeah, it gets kind of gross, and you don't really have to. We all know what it looks like, but yeah, it happens. And today I'm going to talk about a little bit about basic foot care, how to take care of your feet, how to keep them from getting too bad, and what happens if you do get a blister or calluses. Here's some information on basic foot care. Invest in the right pair of shoes. Now, this is the basic stuff. We all should know this, right? The most important aspect of foot care is investing in the right shoes. If it's been a while since you've had your feet fitted, it's not a bad idea to go get them refitted and make sure that you're wearing the right shoes and the right size. A few years ago, I would say maybe 5 years ago, I realized that my feet had grown, even at my advanced age. They'd grown a half size, and I was wearing too small of a shoe, and I lost both my large toenails. That was painful. I finished DNF in a 50K because I had to walk so many miles because my big toes hurt so bad, and I lost both those toenails. And then, so now I'm a half size larger than I used to be. So it's not a bad idea if you haven't had your feet fitted for a while to go to a running shoe and have them refitted. Wear moisture wicking socks. Okay, this is another thing that I've talked about a lot, is that have the right kind of socks. And maybe you don't want to spend a lot of money on socks, but it's not a bad idea to spend the money on the right socks. And once you find the right kind of socks, stick to it. I happen to like Darn Tough socks. I like Darn Tough socks, and I like Balega socks, although Balega socks don't really last very long. They are a little cheaper, but Darn Tough socks are my favorites, and they're very expensive. But once you find the brand of sock that you like, stick to it. But try to find something that you like in socks, and try to find one that's going to be good for you, because once you find the right kind of sock, you won't have that many foot problems anymore. Keep your feet clean and dry. And this is, basic. All this stuff is very basic, but it doesn't hurt to go over it. After your runs, okay, make sure you clean your feet thoroughly. Well, obviously you're going to take a shower, so you're going to clean your feet, right? Dry your feet off and pay extra attention in between your toes, because maybe you forget to wash that area. Just make sure that that's all cleaned out. And because if you don't and you miss some spot, that can lead to a future blister or fungal infections, because you do not want athlete's foot. I've had that before. It's really, really not fun. Use foot powder. Now, this is something that I was reading about and I have not done, but this might help if you have problems with moisture in your toes and stuff like that, to apply foot powder in between your feet, in between your toes and your feet, so that you don't have that moisture in your feet when you put on your socks, and that can lead to blisters if you have that. And stretch your feet and toes. Now, this is very important. A lot of people don't do a lot of stretching. And this can really, really help you. You can do this before, during, and after your runs. Stretch your feet and toes before and after. And I say during too, if you want to take a break and do this during as well. Do some simple stretches. Just go something that I've talked about in many shows. Just go up on your toes and back down. And it's a really good idea to do this. You could also use a tennis ball or a golf ball under your foot. There's also some massage tools that are made just for feet you can use as well. And these can really help increase the circulation in your feet so you don't risk cramps and other foot problems. If you've ever had toe cramps, they're very painful. I've had them. They're very painful and you don't really want them. And it's just a really good way to stretch out your arches and all your muscles in your feet. And your feet will thank you later. Schedule regular foot massages. Well, if you like to have your feet massaged, this is a really good one. I do not, so I don't do this. But if you like to have that, it can help improve circulation and reduce muscle tension in your feet. And you can consider doing these regularly with a professional massage therapist, or invest in a foot massager that you can use at home. And that would probably be better for me, since I don't like anybody touching my feet. It's true. My feet are very sensitive to people touching it. They're very ticklish. I don't like having anyone touch my feet. I've gone for a pedicure twice, and both times they tickled my feet and I almost kicked them in the face. It's true. So I don't do that anymore. It's like, no, it's unsafe for me to go to get a pedicure. Consider custom orthotics. If you have problems finding the right shoe for your foot, consider getting custom orthotics. You can also try those out there's a lot of custom orthotics available at certain shoe stores. Go into a running shoe store. You can ask where you can find them. We have a couple running shoe stores in town that can offer that. So I would look around for that. That might help you. Listen to your feet. If you experience pain or discomfort in your feet, it's important to listen to your body and take a break. Running through pain can lead to more injuries. And this is something for any kind of pain or anywhere. You really have to listen to your body, listen to what's going on, and see what can help you. If it's something it's a pain that's recurring over and over again, then I would stop and take a break and see if that helps it, and then try again another day. Walk around barefoot when you can. It can also help your feet. It helps for your feet to learn to move correctly, allows your toes to move and spread out, and keeps your body in proper positioning without your heel being raised off the ground at all. And that can really help you. If you aren't used to walking around barefoot, adjust slowly with just a few minutes a day. And if you're currently dealing with any foot injuries, talk to your doctor or wait until you are fully healed to do this. So just try a few minutes a day if you're not used to it. I don't walk barefoot, so maybe this is something that I should try. I don't know. I'm not really into walking barefoot, so maybe when I have the chance, I would. Get a pedicure. As I said previously, I don't get pedicures anymore. It's too dangerous for the person giving me a pedicure, and it's just not fun for me. It's kind of like torture. But if you like that, go ahead and do that. I would do that after your race, so don't do it before your race. Some people, I would say, if you have an upcoming race, do it after your race, though. Now, blisters happen for different reasons. You're wearing the wrong socks, as we already talked about. Your feet are wet, or you're pushing yourself farther than you're used to. These can all create blisters. And there's blisters also happen around areas on the foot where there have been past problems. So that can also happen as well. Here's some tips that I'm going to help you with to deal with blisters, and then upcoming after blisters all to help you deal with calluses as well. There are 3 types of blisters: friction, heat, and moisture. And friction blisters happen when you encounter different surfaces, sometimes surfaces you're not used to running on or have run on for a very long time, just that surface. If you run on cement for a long time, just the same surface over and over again, you can get blister that way. Or if you haven't run on trail before and you're all of a sudden putting on a ton of mileage on trail, you can get a blister that way as well. And then heat and moisture blisters are pretty self-explanatory. And this is how you should treat a blister. If you get a blister, clean the surface of the blister, make sure it's nice and clean. Puncture the blister with a sterile needle or scissors. And you got to make sure that's sterile, that everything is really, really clean. And just a small hole. You don't want a giant one. Just a little bitty hole will do. And this, okay, this is going to be kind of gross. If you are sensitive to this kind of thing, you can fast forward ahead. Squeeze the fluid out of the blister. Make sure you have, wipe it off and everything. Clean and dry the blister surface once that's done. Make sure it's all sterile. Apply a dab of lubricant over that, and then put a moleskin patch on it. And you can get moleskin patches. I love them. You can get them. I couldn't find them in a store, but I got them on Amazon. So you can find these little patches of moleskin, and then you can cut them to the size that you want, and they adhere really, really well. I had a moleskin patch on my toe that didn't want to even come off in the shower. I had to really pull it off. It was very, very tightly on my toe. So these are really good, and they're inexpensive if you want to buy them online. You can consider putting together a blister kit to take with you on all your runs, and there isn't that much in it. You put a little Ziploc baggie and put it in your running vest, or just stick it in your car if you want. And it's not much to it. It's very simple and very easy. And the things that should be included in it are moleskin, needle, maybe a couple needles, alcohol swabs, gloves, medical tape, scissors, body glide, and gauze. And that's really all you need. And I think if you just put everything together in a little, like I said, a little Ziploc bag, you can get those little medical scissors. They don't have to be big. They're just these little bitty ones that just can cut through moleskin. That's really all you need. They don't have to be that sharp. Especially if you have the needles, you don't need anything else. That's how you treat blisters. All right, now calluses. Calluses used to be the old way of handling calluses would be to just let them go and let them get as tough and as hard as they could. But things are changing. I am kind of in between. And Jason Koop, in his book about ultra running, he says he likes them all to be shaved down completely, but I'm kind of in between. I think that if there's any rough edges, those can be shaved down, but keep the hard smooth is fine. Just shave down to any of the rough edges. I think if you have any calluses, like I said, that are tough and smooth, that's fine. And if they're not sticking out, but I lost both my big toenails, as I said in a previous race that I was doing, and one of them, if I don't shave it down, causes me some pain in a run. So I invested in a pumice stone, and I used that to shave it down a little bit to smooth it out. And then I put on some medicated ointment on it, and then I cut out a little bit of moleskin and I tape it over. And that works really well. And when I go on my long run, I always take that with me, everything with me on that. And if you don't have the medicated ointment, you can always use lip moisturizer. You can use that as well. That works very, very well. If you don't have the the medicated ointment. That can do just as well as that. Preventative measures are always best. If you feel that there are any hot spots coming up, moleskin is your best friend. Wrap them up before your runs, wrap them up before you leave your house. You can put a little medicated lotion on them or ointment, or in a pinch, lip balm works really, really well. Just take care of it before you leave, because once it starts really hurting, it's going to be a lot worse. It's just much easier to find those hot spots before you leave. Yeah, and any injuries or anything like that, don't try to run through. Get them seen by a professional. But this episode really isn't about injuries. It's about just taking care of the basic. It's more about basic care of your feet than anything else. And one other thing, don't wait if you're not wearing. I think it's a really good idea to wear gaiters over your shoes on trail runs. They really, really help to keep out the rocks from your shoes. And if you happen to feel a rock in your shoe, don't wait until to get it out. Stop and get it out almost immediately if you can, because if you let that rock just sit in your shoe, it's going to cause a lot more pain and harm down the road. So take care of that right away. And if you have gaiters, or if you can't get gaiters, put them on, because it's really going to help you down the line. Our feet are our friends. We should appreciate them a lot more than we do. So it's really important to take care of them. Now, a little bit on my recovery as it comes along. I'm just going to give you a little bit. It's a little shorter episode than usual, but I'm a little tired these days. My shoulder and arm is coming along. I've got about 3 more weeks in this sling, I hope. I'm really tired of wearing it, let me tell you. But I'm really proud of myself because I got through 5 days of work. I worked Wednesday through Sunday, and I did it all. I worked all the hours I was supposed to. Was it easy? No. Did it hurt? Yeah, sometimes. But I did it. I went to work, got it done, did my job, and I was happy I did. I was really happy I went back to work. I could have stayed home an extra week, and that probably would have been okay, but I couldn't afford it, as I would have to have gone on to temporary disability, and that's a pain in the neck. It's like, nah, I don't want to deal with all that paperwork and all that bureaucracy. So I went to work, and I was very pleased with that. The only thing that's a problem is at night I don't sleep that well because I'm not on the heavier pain meds. I'm on Tylenol PM, and then I take some nighttime cold medicine at night because I have to sleep. And that gets me through about half the night, and then I wake up halfway through in pain, and I have to take some more, and that gets me through most of the rest of it. But I still have a lot of pain at night. Don't usually have it during the day, just at night. I'm just waiting for that to go away because there's a lot of pain involved in this. I don't mean to sound whiny. I apologize. I'm pretty good with pain. I can handle pain, but I've never had quite as much pain as I have with this injury. This injury has pushed me past the pain limits that I've had before in my life. I've had a few injuries. I've had a few surgeries. I've had a few things in my life before, but I've never experienced the kind of pain that I have with this. Gosh, it's like, okay, you're testing me. I get it. Thanks. Thanks for testing me. Thanks. Appreciate it. Not really. So I just hope it's over soon. I really do, because it's getting kind of annoying. Now, I am still going to take my vacation and go to Nevada. I am going to be working at the Bootleg Boogie instead of running it. So I am going to be the assistant race director there. So I'm going to help Michael with his race, and I will be there. I hope you're going to be there too. So I'm going to have a link of the Bootleg Boogie in February. It is on February 3rd and 4th in Boulder City, Nevada, right outside of Lake Mead and Hoover Dam. There's lots of different race distances, and it's a great course. So if you don't have anything to do and can get to that part of the country, I would suggest you go. Like I said, I'll have a link at martharunstheworld.com. And that is it. And that's the show today. Like I said, it's a little shorter than usual, but but I hope you enjoy it. And everything is on the website, martharunstheworld.com. And if you want to email me, it's martharunstheworld@gmail.com. So until next week, let's tie up our shoelaces and go for a run.